Welcome. This video is an introduction to the Maryland Comprehensive Assessment Program, or MCAP, Social Studies Grade 8 test structure. This new assessment will be administered beginning in the spring of 2022 to all 8th grade social studies students in the state of Maryland. Links to important websites and information mentioned in this video can be found in the video description. All social studies courses in Maryland have associated frameworks. These frameworks provide the foundational knowledge and skills necessary for students to become empowered, informed, and socially responsible citizens. Through the study of history, geography, economics, and civics, students learn to interact with and contribute to the world in which they live. Learning how to evaluate sources of information, craft arguments based on evidence, and take informed action helps students develop their civic identity and voice. The structure of the frameworks includes content topics, essential questions, indicators and objectives, and assessment limits for courses with associated assessments, such as Grade 8. Beginning at the pre-K level, the Maryland Social Studies frameworks introduce students to inquiry-based instruction and the social studies skills and processes. These skills are interwoven throughout all of the social studies frameworks, beginning in elementary school. Students continue to develop these skills throughout their entire educational careers. The new Social Studies 8 assessment is a grade band assessment for middle school. This means that it will assess the content from 8th grade U.S. history, but the skills and processes of Standard 6.0 that are assessed are a continuation of similar skill development begun in earlier grades. Therefore, this assessment will help inform the work that social studies teams do at the middle school level for disciplinary literacy in social studies. There are 6 social studies standards in Maryland. They are civics, peoples and nations of the world, geography, economics, history, and skills and processes. These 6 standards are the same across all grade levels for social studies in Maryland. A detailed description of each can be found on page 1 of the framework. 8th grade United States history focuses on developing students' understanding of U.S. history from colonization until the dawn of the 20th century. These are the 7 chronological units of study: colonization, American Revolution, founding of the new government, a new nation, geographic expansion and political division, Civil War and reunion, and growth of industrial America. The first and last units are not assessed on MCAP because they are bridge units between previous or future courses. The other units will be assessed equally across the assessment. Data will be reported out by both standard and unit of study. The Social Studies 8 assessment will measure students' understanding of both the core content and the skills and processes outlined in the assessment limits found in the framework. This is the format for the Grade 8 administration. There will be 4 40-minute sections, which include the item types shown: SR, TEI, CR, and EBAS. A full-length practice test is available, and a link to it appears in the video description. Selected response or multiple choice items are the most common and familiar item type. These items assess content through a question and 4 possible answer choices. Some selected response questions have an associated stimulus, such as a text excerpt, timeline, or map. The example on the screen is as follows. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. U.S. Constitution, Amendment 10. Which principle is supported by this constitutional amendment? A, checks and balances, B, separation of powers, C, federalism, D, judicial review. The correct answer is C, federalism. Technology-enhanced items, or TEIs, allow students to demonstrate their content knowledge by manipulating information in a variety of formats. making them different from the typical selected response items. In social studies, these items can take a variety of formats, including match or drag and drop items, zone or hotspots, and hot text. The example on the screen shows a map with 5 zones as possible answer choices. Students must select the 2 regions in which the Kansas-Nebraska Act addressed the issue of slavery, as indicated in the question at the top. Examples of all different TEIs can be found in the online practice test. Constructed response items are open-ended questions where the student demonstrates content knowledge by providing a written response to a prompt. The example on the screen is as follows. Identify the reasons for Pontiac's rebellion following the French and Indian War. Explain how Pontiac's rebellion affected relationships between the British and the colonists. Use details and examples to support your response. These items are scored using a 4-point rubric. The rubric is available on the Grade 8 website. The final item type for Grade 8 is the Evidence-Based Argument Set, or EBAS. This item type is currently on the American Government Assessment as well. Social studies supervisors were integral in selecting the 3 standards to be assessed when developing both the American Government and the middle school assessment. Students will be asked to evaluate the credibility of sources by considering the authority, origin, type, context, and corroborative value of each source, identify credible, relevant information contained in the sources, and construct arguments using claims and evidence from multiple sources. The structure for the EBAS is as follows. Students will read a brief line of directions that mirrors a faux inquiry activity. This will be followed by a compelling question that frames the entire EBAS set. Next, background information is provided to eliminate any content barriers that may prevent students from demonstrating the historical thinking skills that are being assessed. Please note that the EBAS is not intended to assess content knowledge, only the 6.0 skills and processes. Then there will be 4 authentic sources with source information, and lastly, there will be a few 2-point constructed response and TEI questions, and a final 4-point constructed response question as well. 2 practice EBAS appear on the practice test, and 1 additional one can be found on the MSDE item banking website called iTempora. This sample EBAS also has student responses along with scoring rationales. A link can be found in the video description. Please take note of the resources available on the marylandpublicschools.org website. On the screen is a QR code that will take you directly to the Grade 8 website. There is a shortened URL as well. Again, a link to this site is available in the video description. On this site, you will find links to all of the resources mentioned in this video, including frameworks, rubrics, and the practice test. Thank you, and have a great day.